Nike. The company was founded in 1964 under the name Blue Ribbon Sports by Phil Knight, a former runner, and his coach, Bill Bowerman. Initially, they focused on importing sneakers from Japan to the United States. In 1966, they opened their first store. Bill Bowerman also began experimenting with creating his own shoes. In 1971, after disagreements with Onitsuka Tiger, the company decided to launch its own line of sports shoes. That same year, BRS was renamed Nike. A year later, Nike released its first clothing line under its own brand. In 2006, Nike was launched in partnership with Apple, allowing users to track their running workouts using an iPod and special sneakers. This was one of Nike's first steps into digital technology and fitness. Today, Nike remains a leading player in the sports apparel and footwear industry, actively working on integrating digital technologies into sports. Adidas. The company's history began in 1924 when two brothers decided to open their own shoe factory in the German town of Herzogenaurach. By 1928, shoes created by the brothers were widely used by athletes at the Olympic Games. In 1936, at the Berlin Olympics, American athlete Jesse Owens won 4 gold medals while wearing shoes made by the Dassler brothers, bringing significant attention and recognition to the brand. In the 1960s, the company began to expand its product range, producing not only shoes but also sportswear. In 2005, Adidas acquired the British company Reebok, strengthening its position in the US market and becoming an even more prominent player on the global sports stage. Today, Adidas remains one of the world's leaders in sports apparel and footwear, competing with giants like Nike. Puma. Puma's history is closely tied to Adidas, as the brothers who started the shoe factory eventually had a falling out after World War II. In 1948, Rudolf Dassler founded his own company, originally called Ruda, but soon rebranded it as Puma. In 1952, the company released its first football boots with cleats, marking an important milestone. Puma signed a contract with legendary Brazilian footballer Pelé, who wore the brand's boots during the 1970 World Cup, where Brazil triumphed. During the 1980s, Puma continued to expand its global presence, growing in areas like running, tennis, and other sports. Today, Puma actively focuses on sustainable development, incorporating eco-friendly materials and recycling into its production processes. Supreme. The company was founded more recently, in 1994, in New York City by designer and entrepreneur James Jebbia. Supreme was originally geared toward skateboarders but quickly gained popularity among a broader audience thanks to its distinctive style. In the early 2000s, Supreme began collaborating with other brands, creating joint collections. One of the first significant partnerships was with Nike in 2002, resulting in a limited edition of Nike SB Dunk sneakers. In 2020, VF Corporation, a major player in the apparel industry, acquired Supreme for $2.1 billion. Reebok. The history of this company dates back to 1895, but let's jump to more recent times. The grandsons of Joseph Foster, Joe and Jeff Foster, decided to expand the family business and create a new brand. In 1958, they registered the company under the name Reebok. A significant moment for the company came during a trade show in Chicago in 1979, where American entrepreneur Paul Fireman discovered Reebok products and was impressed by their quality and design. In the early 1990s, Reebok continued to expand its range, offering not only fitness shoes but also sneakers for running, basketball, football, and other sports. As we know, in 2005, Reebok was purchased by Adidas. In 2020, Adidas announced plans to sell Reebok due to declining profitability and a desire to focus on its main brand. Fila. The company was founded in 1911 by two brothers in a small town in northern Italy. In its early years, the company focused on producing sportswear, with comfort and quality being the brothers' main priorities. In the 1930s, the brand gained a reputation for making high-quality sports apparel. During the 1970s, Fila became popular due to its unique style and design, signing contracts with several famous athletes. The company expanded rapidly, entered the US market, and significantly broadened its product range. However, in the 1990s, the company faced financial difficulties due to changes in sports fashion and increased competition from other brands. In the 2000s, under new leadership, Fila began making a comeback. Fila has come a long way since its founding, continuously adapting to changes in the sports fashion and apparel market.